Tom, you're very welcome to a place that I'm sure you're very familiar with now at this stage, the HQ Tralee.
Thanks, Ken.
A quick Google search of you tells us you've been the MD of O'Leary and Associates for over 13 years now. And prior to that, you were involved as an enterprise officer working in various parts of the country, and you spent a bit of time in the States. Google searches don't tell us everything. Can you give us a quick elevator pitch about what O'Leary and Associates are?
Well, I suppose I take the stairs, so I don't have the elevator pitch. I suppose if you want, what I do really is I work basically with small businesses and I work with social businesses. So I train and advise people who are starting a business. I train and advise people who have started a business and want the business to grow. And I train and advise social enterprises like clubs, organisations, community voluntary organisations, not-for-profit groups. Primarily on a one-to-one basis and in group work as well in training.
Mm-hmm. And when you started all those years ago, was it the plan that this is what you would be doing?
Kind of really was a plan. I worked in Dublin for a bit in the local development sector up there, and when I moved back to Tralee in 2000, I worked for a number of years as well in partnership with Tralee here, working with community and voluntary organisations and with startups. So I kind of basically transferred my skills into a self-employment role really. Did that part-time for 3 years, so worked part-time for Partnership Tralee, the local development company here, now part of Northern East West Kerry Development, and then worked part-time for myself until 2005. So yeah, the plan was to move back to Kerry, specifically start the business within a 5-year period. I started in 2. So yeah, it was pretty much from 98 really onwards, I kind of planned to look at developing in the kind of consultancy area.
Mm-hmm. Most of your work obviously is with startups and young entrepreneurs. Is there any key advice that you would give somebody starting out today?
Yeah, I suppose I kind of wouldn't conform normally with your typical kind of business coach and advisor. I like keeping things very practical. I've been working with startups since 1997, so most of them are one-person operations of all different sizes and shapes and sectors. I suppose I focus on 3 key things really. The first is, and this is what I say to my clients and people I train, is if you're self-employed, you're not a self-volunteer. So look after yourself first of all. Make sure you have enough income to survive, to pay your own bills, to cover your household bills, and to cover your business costs. A lot of people go into business thinking, yeah, the business is viable, it's going to cover the suppliers, it's going to cover my staff, it's going to cover my rent, it's going to cover my rates, and then 6 months down the line, they're working flat out, and they realise that, hang on a second, I'm making money here, but I'm not making any money for myself. So the first rule in business that I would always preach is look after number 1 first, and that's yourself. If you're self-employed, you're self-employed. You're not self-volunteering. The second thing I would say is that if you're looking at cash flows, banks, grant agencies, people talk about cash flow projections. There's no such thing as projections. Outgoings are real, your mortgage is real, your rent is real, your overheads are real, your staff costs are real. Most of your business costs are fixed costs. They're going out of your account every single month. Is real money moving out of your account. Therefore, money has to go into that account. Not projected income, has to be real income coming into your account every month. If you can't make that, the business isn't viable. And the final point I would recommend people is that keep it realistic, keep it simple. A lot of people overcomplicate business. Business is common sense, it's buying and selling. If you overcomplicate it, it's going to be complicated. If you keep it simple, it'll be simple. People focus on market research a lot, which is important. They overcomplicate it. If you want to find out what your customers want, you ask them what they want. If you want to find out what you need, you ask people what they want and what's their product or service you can provide them with. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple.
Obviously, a lot of the advice that you're giving people is based on your own experiences. I presume you've come across a number of roadblocks over your 13, 14 years in business.
Absolutely. I started off in 2002, 3 years part-time. So 2005, I set up the company O'Leary and Associates. So that's 12 years now up and running. Went through the Celtic Tiger era, which was great for every business.
Great fun.
Pretty much. We'd all had a bit of a crack off that. And then obviously when the recession kicked in, every business took a downturn. My business model is based on getting, I suppose, working with the likes of organisations like the local enterprise office here in Kerry and other counties and local development companies that rely on grant supports. So the work I do is done through those organisations primarily. So when their funding is being cut or being reduced, obviously that's got a knock-on effect to my business. But we kind of saw that coming really. So yeah, roadblocks were there, but if you can look ahead far enough and you see a roadblock, you can kind of change strategy and change tack slightly to avoid that block as much as possible.
So obviously anything that impacts business in general impacts your business because you're there to
Absolutely,
advise them.
yeah. And like, funny enough, in terms of when things are bad in terms of recession and higher levels of unemployment, normally more support is going towards agencies providing supports for startups. So in kind of in a weird way, really, sometimes the recession has a kind of a positive impact on my business. Where it's been negative is probably where grant aid over the last number of years has been reduced, or there was no grants there.
Yeah.
So organisations looking for funding, who normally would have come to me for advice and support and help, weren't coming because there was no money there. So we just we just looked at the business model and then retweaked it slightly to avoid the pitfalls that were there. But obviously things slow down like for everyone else.
Yeah. Obviously you touched on the Celtic Tiger, and that's kind of back in history now at this stage, and there are rumours that there is a resurgence and there is a new Celtic Phoenix, I think they're calling it now.
Okay.
Have you seen signs of the Celtic Phoenix?
I have. It's probably over exaggerated in terms of the media, and obviously politicians are very interested in getting out there and saying, look, things are back and we're all recovering and the economy's going great again. Absolutely, on the east coast of the country it's doing very, very well. Dublin is flying, it's booming, but there's got its problems, and trying to lose every day. There's a negativity around there as well. Has it been as strong down in Kerry and places like that? Absolutely not. Is it improving? Absolutely, yes. A lot of my business will be in the trade sector. Did go hammering in the last 10 years. A lot of them moved away, but a lot of them stayed around, kind of weathered the storm, and now are busy again. They're looking to hire again, which is good. Even see yourselves in terms of the numbers of people starting off. A lot of the younger people that were coming in before, in their early 20s, starting off businesses, aren't really coming in now because they're getting jobs.
Yeah.
And getting jobs locally and nationally as well. Obviously people are...
I presume recognising the struggles that young businesses and small businesses have, is that one of the reasons why you are a co-founder with myself of the HQ in Tralee?
Yeah.
Is that what drove you?
Absolutely. I suppose in terms of my core business is small business. I don't deal with corporate business or larger customers, and we kind of we know what's happening out there in the marketplace. We hear people every day saying what their issues are, what their needs are. Majority of my clients work from home. That could be a kitchen table, it could be a box room converted into an office, it could be a garage converted into an office, it could be working from the car, it could be working from a foyer of a hotel. The biggest issue a lot of them had was getting out of the house, meeting other people, meeting clients, being in a work environment. Most of them couldn't afford office space, that and the hassle of actually going into an office yourself and developing it. Yeah. So recognised there was a need for lots of supports, and one of those supports that people required was space and premises in the town, not out in the countryside, in a town centre where they can have access to banks, the post office, shops, restaurants, cafes. And that's why I suppose we got involved in HQ here.
Yeah, and that collaboration is a key element to it.
Absolutely.
Obviously you've got a passion for Kerry.
Yep.
What other passions have you got outside of business?
Outside of business, my family.
Yeah.
Wife and 2 small boys. They keep me busy, keep me going, and you look forward to going home in the evening to having a kick around or get back garden, or you're going on to the beach and have a run or whatever it might be with them.
Another one of the benefits of living in a place like Kerry.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no commuting time. 15 minutes you're at home. 15 minutes beyond that you're down on the beach. You've got 3-4 hours a day, like in the summer months, summer evenings to enjoy the family life, and that's key to my I can drop my kids off to school in the morning before I come to work, and I'm at work at 9:15. So there's no getting up at 7:30, dropping a child to a creche at 8 and struggling to be in for work for 9 o'clock. That doesn't happen anymore, So that's one of the huge benefits of being based in a place like Kerry,
Yeah, obviously you were based abroad for a number of years, working in San Fran, Boston, and a few other places like that.
Yeah.
So you do see the benefits of being based here.
Yeah, because I suppose I spent 10 years out of Kerry. I started off in Cork, then Boston, and then Dublin. So I worked and lived in cities. In your early and mid 20s, great place. That's where you want to be when you're that age. But I moved out of Dublin when I was 27 years of age, and I wanted to move back here because I wanted to have a family here. I wanted the lifestyle here. I'm from Kerry. I love the place. And I'd done my 5-6 years in Dublin. Enjoyed it, but when you kind of feel leaving Tralee on a Sunday afternoon to go back to Dublin to start working, and you're kind of you got that kind of feeling in your stomach, that's kind of, I think, no, I gotta come back, and then we'll move back here.
And obviously it's one of the most important things that you probably tell businesses on a regular basis is to find that work-life balance. Obviously every business over a period of time has to change and evolve. To date your company has been known as O'Leary and Associates. I believe you're going through a process of rebranding to Result Business and Marketing. Can you tell us what's involved there?
Yeah, I suppose it's something I decided to do maybe, I suppose, more 12 months ago now at this stage. Purely, I suppose, in terms of the way I look at things, that sometimes you have to make changes. Like I've changed it. From I started off as Enterprising Solutions back in 2002, and operated on that trade name for a number of years, and then my company was O'Leary and Associates Training and Consultancy Limited. And I suppose what I'm trying to do is concentrate more on business and marketing. Like I kind of known to be doing lots of different things in terms of from town planning to area plans to grant applications to business supports and advice and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to concentrate more for 2018 on focus on business and marketing and developing programs and packages around that for startups and for established businesses. So the whole thing about result is basically my philosophy on businesses. Everything's based on results. So your business plan, your strategic plan should be focused on your results. So it's kind of results-based planning model that I focus on. So really the brand result kind of reflects that. Okay. So result business marketing will be, I suppose, born and raised and put out there probably towards the end of this year, and then pushing it out in the new year.
Pushing it out in 2018 and developing it on from there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have long-term ambitions in relation to online training portals and getting yourself more involved in social media.
Yeah. As you know, I'm not a not a great believer in social media in terms of my own business. Yeah. Improving it, I know it's something I need to do. And I suppose my biggest problem is I'm one person. I don't have any staff. Yeah. I can't be more than one place at one time. So what we're trying to do is put out the training and the supports we provide, or I provide on an online platform. So whether it be podcasts. The key to every business is
to continually evolve and learn.
Exactly. So like it really be kind of looking at subscription models where people can sign up to a year of supports and be based anywhere. Like at the moment actually we have 2 clients based in the States, for example, that we consult with over Skype, which is working really well.
Being based here in the HQ obviously helps.
Exactly. Well, it's only since I moved into HQ I can do it, because my broadband in my last office, it was fine, but you wouldn't be consulting online. Here, it's like being in front of the person, So one guy, she's in Canada, and the other person's in the States. So like more of that, trying to promote and get out there. I'll be in an online digital platform sooner rather than later.
Keep an eye out for Result Online pretty soon.
Absolutely, yeah, result.ie. Yeah.
Tell me something about you that no one ever believes.
Okay, I spent 6 months in Mountjoy.
Seriously?
Yeah, well, actually, it wasn't Mountjoy till I was actually Pace, which was a halfway house for Mountjoy.
Right. What did you do?
For prisoners on pre-release. What did I do?
Yeah.
I had the misfortune of working in a company called Northside Partnership. Actually, not the misfortune; it was a great place to work. They put me into Mountjoy for 6 months to train guys who were on pre-release.
Okay. So challenging role.
No, it was interesting. Actually, it was daunting to start, obviously, because I'd never been in prison before.
Touch wood, never again.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened was, basically before, say, a prisoner would be released, 6 months out, they would look at a kind of training plan and what they would do when they exit prison.
Okay.
A lot of guys were find hard obviously to get employment when they got out because they had a record. So I worked with a lot of them, especially if they had trades and skills before they went in.
Yeah.
So we would work with them on based their business idea, getting a business plan ready, and then we would work with the support agencies in the county that we're going back to, so whether it be Kerry or Dublin or Cork or Limerick or wherever, and we would organise for them then to have a kind of continuation of supports when they got out of prison. So the minute they got out of prison, a week later there was an appointment set up with them in wherever they were going back to, And
obviously you would have learned a huge amount from that role, quite a challenging position to be in.
It was, yeah, but I worked in Northside Partnership for 3 years. Like I worked in Darrington, Belcap and Kilbarrack, areas with huge social problems. But they're fantastic communities, So I learned more from those guys in 6 weeks. Just listening to their problems and their issues and stuff than you could ever learn from a book or ever learn from college. It was a fantastic grounding in business.
Yeah, and obviously they worked hard at it because they wanted to give themselves a second chance.
Exactly. they weren't come from any privileged background. These guys had no degrees. They had very little education. They'd gone through a hell of a lot of social problems. And those type of people, they have resilience. And it's great to work with guys like that.
And obviously, if they can do it, it kind of does show that anybody can do it.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. With
the greatest respect to them.
Absolutely, and I've actually
they had a disadvantage in front of them before.
Exactly, I actually bumped into one guy there about a year ago that was back probably more than 15 years ago now. We would have met back in the Joy, and just recognised me on the street and came over, and he's turned his life around. He's got a good success. He's got a wife and kids now. He's got a successful business, And that's kind of why I got involved in this thing, really, is because they're real stories, They're not big corporates or not multinationals or anything like that. They're not the next Google, or they're not tech companies with huge money behind them. These guys are just regular people like making a buck, like, and going out there and doing what they can do, like
Well, they do say, the small business is the lifeblood of the country.
Absolutely. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Where is your favourite place in the world?
Kerry.
Why?
Come to Kerry. Absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You wouldn't swap it for anywhere else.
No, when people say that, people say, "Oh, you're from Kerry, you're born to say that." Like, we've got well over 1 million people coming every year, visiting the county. So they're coming here for a reason, because they love the place. There's so much to do, so much to see. We're just lucky enough to be born here.
Yeah. I think we underappreciate it.
Yeah. Second most favourite place, Miami.
Miami.
Yeah. Just doesn't rain.
Who in business do you most admire?
In business, funny enough, he used to be Michael O'Leary until last week.
Yeah.
No relation, by the way.
Yeah.
Just like the business model he has, he went off and he looked at Southwest Airlines in the States, looked at how they did it, said, not reinvent wheel here. We're an island nation, people commute off the island, let's develop something similar. And he got it right, and he got his systems right, and he got his processes right, and he got his business model right. A lot of people give out about him in terms of his marketing, in terms of his PR and his customer service. Yeah. And he's someone I admire in terms of how you take a business and you grow a global brand in a small island like in Ireland, okay, he's bit tainted since so last week, but in terms
he has his moments.
Absolutely, in terms of he's a guy I do admire. In terms of I just like the way he does things simply. It's like, you take not a simple concept, but you take a concept, you don't reinvent something, and then you make it work and you tweak it for the country, and that's what we're trying to get out to our clients, is that, look at how other businesses have done things successfully. See, can you learn from it? See, can you develop the model for yourself? See, can you tweak it to suit the local market? Yeah. And go out there. Don't try to overcomplicate things, and he doesn't. And it's worked.
Obviously, advising so many hundreds of businesses over the years, was there ever any of those businesses you said to yourself, that's what I want to do myself?
There was one guy, actually, I won't mention his name now, but he was a guy we met there probably back in 2005, I think it was. And he came in, and I normally, he was starting off the business, and he would want some business advice from me. And about an hour into the conversation, I said, "Do you want to turn the tables here, because you should advise me?" This guy he was had a surf school here in Kerry, and he would do the surf school from May until September. And I said, "Okay, seasonal business." And I said, "What you do, for the rest of the time?" I thought maybe do a part-time job or another full-time job. He said, "I travel the world surfing then for the rest of the year." Nice. That's nice. That's a nice business.
Where you can, and we often see them coming through the doors here. Yeah. The remote workers that come through and use HQ. You admire what they do, because they can be anywhere and they take their job with them. Exactly. Yeah. So, do you want to travel the world surfing? Is that what that board is about?
No. Allow me to go to that board, I think. Yeah. But that's again, it's work-life balance. People think, "Oh, you're not an entrepreneur unless you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're working 80 hours a week." I don't want to work 80 hours a week. I don't want to be up 6 o'clock in the morning working. I want to be up in the morning looking, taking care of the kids and bring them to school and stuff. If I can work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday as a self-employed business owner,
living, pay your way, and enjoy life.
Yeah, because the bigger the business grows, the less time you have for yourself. Of course. The bigger the business grows, the more concerns, more issues and risks you have. So, nothing wrong with growing a very, very huge business and being very successful. But if you can, have a decent living without working your ass off every week. That's the key, And that's I suppose one of the things being down here, pace of life, allows you to do that,
Stranded on a desert island, and this is our random question of the podcast. Stranded on a desert island, who would you bring with you? One person.
Not Michael O'Leary anyway. One person?
Yeah.
Or my wife.
Your wife.
Yep.
Why?
And the 2 kids, obviously.
Why? And obviously she's going to watch this afterwards. You have to have a good answer for this. Why your wife?
Why my wife? Yeah. Why not my wife? From a desert island?
Oh no, I'm with you. I totally agree. But is it because she has been in the business with you since the start?
Yeah, my wife moved back to Kerry. Moved to Kerry. Well, she's not from Kerry, but she moved to Kerry in 2004, and give up a very good job in Dublin to come down to here. To share life with me. So, I'm sharing my life with her, and that's who I would like to be with on a desert island.
That's a good answer, and it's a good way to end the interview, Tom.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.